What's up, nation? It's your boy S. Baker. Alright, here we are again with another Power Recap. Season 4, Episode 8 is done. Alright, before we get off into this, I want to first apologize for not doing a recap last week. I'm just going to be perfectly honest with you guys. I was just done. Like, I had filmed a recap and everything, but by the time I had finished filming it, I just literally couldn't keep my eyes open. I went to go and try to edit it, and that's all I kept doing was dropping out. So I apologize, you guys. I didn't get a recap to y'all last week, but I got you this week. Season 4, Episode 8 is done. Oh, before we even get off into that, I want to talk about the leak episodes. I think it's real messed up that somebody would leak episodes, not even just for Power, but for any TV show. Now, from what I've been told, that actually worked for another TV show, but I think it's trash to even do that, and not even just with TV, with movies and music. I'm not into the whole piracy thing. Now, have I ever done it? Yes, I did do it, but a lot of times that I did it, it was stuff that I had bought and lost. Not saying that makes it okay, but even still, I'm not into the whole piracy thing. So I think it sucked that these episodes got leaked, and I just hope that this doesn't have a negative impact on the TV show. You know, Power is just a great show that a lot of people are not watching. A lot of people are not giving this show credit that it rightfully deserves. So the people that's out here that really supports the show, let's continue to support the show. Even if you have watched the leaked episodes, still, let's continue to support the show. I didn't want to watch them. I was like, I don't care. I will wait until these episodes come out like they're supposed to. Alright? Let's continue to support Power. But now, let's get into it. Power. Season 4, Episode 8 is done. Let's go.
They say this is a big rich town. I just come from the poet's part. Bright light, city life, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happen to come up hard. Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it.
I never took a straight path nowhere. Life's full of twists and turns.
Alright, in the first scene, we are going into Silver's apartment. He's asleep. He rolls over. It's the phone ringing. He has a note from Tasha saying it was fun for real. He gets a phone call, and we don't know who's on the phone, but obviously it gets him up. And as he gets up, walks in James, aka Ghost St. Patrick, who is questioning him. Has he talked to Proctor? He's like, I haven't talked to Proctor in about a week. So he wants to know if there's any criminal investigation going on with Proctor. He's like, well, if it was, I would know. Why are you questioning? Is there anything I should know? No. But with my case still pending, I just want to make sure ain't no funny business going on with him that can affect us. Which has Silver us. Because, Silver doesn't want to defend Ghost anymore. But he may be in a little too deep. So that's all this scene was about. Basically, him just trying to figure out what's going on with Proctor. So now on to the next scene. The next scene, we have Tommy talking to Dre, basically talking about the situation with the Jimenez and how they haven't responded to his offer yet. His offer was that he wanted all the corners back, plus 6 more, and access to the Los Angeles ports on the West Coast. Well, the West Coast ports. Basically, he said, if we haven't heard from them by midnight tonight, everybody strap up, because we're going to war. Because that's what Tommy do. Tommy handled his business. And that's all this thing was. Basically just saying, look, we're about to go to war and get ready. Of course, Dre's nervous because in all reality, he's the reason all of this is going on. Tommy don't know that, of course, but we know that. So let's go to the next scene and see what happened. So the next scene opens up with Sax walking. He's texting Angela that he's going to be late when he runs into Mike Sandoval, which I think, basically the walls are closing in on Mike. Mike is starting to understand, people know it's him. He wants to try to steer everything away from him. So he meets up with Sax and basically say, yo, we're still going up against Donovan, right? But Sax already knows. He already can feel that the situation is messed up and Mike is the killer. So he's going to go meet up with Angela right now, and probably Donovan. But we'll find out later on in the episode. Let's continue on. Alright, so the next scene, we see Tasha kind of floating in on Cloud 9. She just got that thing from Silver last night, so she's feeling great. She's kind of in a whole nother world. Keisha's there. Keisha's trying to get Tasha's attention, but like I said, Tasha is just gone. She got. You know what I'm saying? So, in the midst of all this, Tasha eventually snaps out of it, and now Keisha wants to know, was it a good idea that she did that interview with Ghost? Of course, she's like, well, you know, I had to. Terry said that it was good for the case, that I did that. Terry said it would be good for the case if I did that, which kind of raised suspicions to Keisha, like, wait, Terry, the lawyer Silver, and y'all still talking? Where she like, yeah. And then she gets ready to tell Keisha, like,
look, Keisha, I gotta tell you something. Mom?
But then Raina walks in, basically is just trying to go back to what she said in the last episode, how she think that her and Tariq should go to a different school. So she's just trying to convince Tasha to go to a different school, which Tasha's like, I don't know, why would you want to do that? But she said, hey, would you at least just think about it? Tasha said, cool. And after all of this, Tasha tells Tariq, hey, get your coat on, we're getting ready to go. Tariq doesn't really say anything, but he picks up his phone and he texts somebody named Brains. On to the next scene. Okay, so in the next scene, we have Ghost waiting outside for Councilman Tate. They're obviously going to talk about what they want to do to help the community. And in the midst of this, he tells Ghost that he's waiting on one more person. And who is that person that they're waiting on? Somebody that Ghost actually helped get out the hood. Dre. So Dre pops up, and obviously Ghost is kind of like, what is he doing here? But he doesn't want to, like, you know, pretty much give himself away. So he kind of just goes with the flow. And I guess they're going to talk about what they want to do for the community. On to the next scene. In the following scene, we have the beautiful Angela Valdez, Donovan, and Sax all talking about the evidence and what they know about Mike and how Mike absolutely is the killer. So in all of the things that they're talking about, Sax is basically saying, like, without proof, we can't convict him. And if we're going to go to mock with this, we better have something concrete. Otherwise, they're all going to be on Mike's hit list, which means he's going to probably try to kill all three of them. As they're talking about all these things, Angela brings out the burner cell that she got from James. And so she explains that she called from that cell phone and that somebody answered the phone but didn't say anything. It wasn't her. It wasn't Donovan. It wasn't Sax. It had to have been Mike. And now she knows the whole thing. She knows that Mike killed Greg. But they can't prove it. But I think Angela has something up her sleeve. And we're going to find out later on in the episode. On to the next scene. Alright, in the next scene we have Tate, Ghost, and Dre all walking through Queens. Basically, Tate is going over the plan that he has to clean up the old community, which basically is build a center for youth so they can learn, like, medical and the arts and etc., etc., etc. All these different things that can help the community. So he has a great plan, and Ghost is like, I'm all for it. In the middle of the conversation, Tate has a phone call where Ghost then checks Dre. Like, look, I don't want no surprises. He's like, man, look, Tate said you be cool with it. So they get past that, and now he wants to know what's going on with the Jimenez because he sees some of the locals on the corner. He's like, yo, these guys are still on the corner? How did that meeting with Tommy go? It didn't go well, and Tommy's ready to strap up and go to war. Ghost knows that's not good for anybody. So he needs to go talk to Tommy, and he wants to know where Tommy is. And we're about to find out. On to the next scene. Alright, so in the next scene, we have Tommy at his mother's house. Long story short, Tommy like, Ma, tell the truth. What's going on? Who's my dad? Of course, she plays it off like, you know, I met your dad. He left you when you was too young, and he died. But Tommy's like, why did I get a, well, actually, not why did I get a phone call, but why did I talk to a man named Tony Teresi who is saying that he's my father? Of course, she still denies it, But we're going to see where this goes. And that's all this scene was about. So let's go to the next scene. Alright, so in the next scene, Dre's meeting up with the rest of the crew, basically telling them, we might go to war with the Jimenez. Strap up. Now everybody in the room is like, why? Like, we can't go to war with the Jimenez. Like, we got other things going on. But Dre's basically like, look, this is what it is. Mainly because Dre knows why they're going to war. Because he set up Julio, and because of the death of Julio, that started a war. Now, I can't remember this guy's name, but it's the guy who didn't like Julio either. You know, him and Dre are in cahoots with each other, so they both know what's really going on. So basically, he like, yo, do you really want to do this? And Dre's like, no, I don't want to do this. I definitely don't want to do this. But what other choice do we got? No? Our best thing is to try to stay a step ahead of Tommy. And they both agree. On to the next scene. In the next scene, Tommy meets up with Ghost. Ghost's whole mindset is, Tommy, why you trying to start a war? Tommy's whole mindset is, hey, Teresi might be my father. You was in jail with him. What do you think? Of course, Ghost is like, well, I don't know. Like, you know, you both got blue eyes. It is what it is. But we need to think about this war that you're trying to start. So basically, long story short, Tommy explaining to Ghost, I can't go back there and renegotiate because it's going to make me look like a punk. So how about you go in and negotiate? If you want things done your way, you're going to get them little hands dirty. And so Ghost knows he has to do this, and I'm pretty sure he's going to do it. But we'll find out later on in the episode. On to the next scene. In the next scene, we have Ghost running up on Proctor. He basically wants to make sure that Proctor don't say anything about what he knows, and that why was he talking to Mox outside of his apartment. Which, you know, Proctor threw it off as they're trying to get me to tell because of the guy that Tommy killed, you know. But I'm not going to say anything, and we're in this together. Which Ghost is like, I just don't know who I can trust. Proctor's like, still me. But we just don't know. We just don't know. I don't know Proctor's intentions. He says that he got rid of the body. He said he got rid of the recording. I just don't know. But guess we'll find out. 2 more episodes left in this season. Let's see what happens. On to the next scene. Okay, so in the next scene we have Tommy. He goes back to Teresi's home. And I don't remember the lady's name, but it's Teresi's wife. She's there. He's asking, can I speak to Sammy? Sammy's gone. So they indulge in conversation. Basically, Tommy is just trying to go in there to see if he can find any proof that Teresi's his father. Which, when he opens up a blue binder, which I'm pretty sure is a photo book, I think he finds some proof. Which, right after that, Ghost texts him, asks him, was he ready? So they're getting ready to go to the meeting with the Jimenez. So he has to dip out. But I think Teresi's wife kind of understands that there's something going on and that maybe this could be Teresi's son. But I guess we'll have to find out when we continue to watch the episode. On to the next scene. Alright, so in the next scene, we just have the negotiation that Ghost actually brings to the Jimenez. Basically telling them that, look, we killed Lobos, but you guys took the credit. Give us back our territory and access to the port on the West Coast, and your secret is safe with us. But if not, then you got a problem. And that's all this scene is about. Plain and simple. Just get to the next one. Ain't nothing more else that we can say here. Alright, so in this next scene, we have Sax talking to Mike, basically telling him everything that Angela knows that he's the killer, or thinks that he's the killer, and that she's going to go to Mock with the information. Now, honestly, I can clearly tell that this is a setup scene. He's only telling Mike this because he knows that Mike's going to react and probably go try to kill Angela. So that's the whole point. This might have been Angela's whole plan in the first place. But we'll find out later on in the episode. On to the next scene. Make it real quick. This next scene is Tommy confronting his mom about his father. He has a picture of Tony Teresi holding him as a baby at his old house before he moves to Queen. And he just confronts his mama about it. She comes clean. And that's really what this scene is all about. Let's just get to the next one. In the next scene, we have Mike going to Angela's home to basically let her know that I know what you're about to do. Now, Mike is coming over there to kill Angela. But Like I said before, that scene with Sax was a setup scene. However, in the midst of all this, Mike tells Angela, oh, you don't think I got nothing on you too? Well, if I'm the Lobo's mole, of course I have something on you. Your name has came up so many times. Now, in the midst of all this conversation, she cuts the wire. She, hands down, stops the wire from being able to transmit. And then she tells Mike,
chance to cover yourself.
Why? What do you want to help me?
The FBI is gonna burst in here any second. You don't have any other options. You're not a murderer, you're a witness.
boom. Then the FBI comes in and arrests Mike. I think she just kind of gave Mike a way out. Not to where he won't get arrested. I mean, he's going to jail regardless. But I think she gave Mike a way out. Like, I really want to know what Angela's up to. Angela's heading towards a life of crime. And I like it. On to the next scene. In the next scene, we have Kate visiting Teresi. I know we were all expecting for it to be Tommy, but it was Kate who visited Teresi, saying, stay away from my son. Like, come on, my old man, I just want to see my son. No, that's not what we agreed on. Stay away from him, or I'm going to tell Connie, who is Teresi's wife, I'm going to tell Connie all about us. Now, of course, Teresi's like, even though I'm in here, it's not good to threaten me. She's like, take it how you want, but stay away from my son. Hangs up the phone and leave. On to the next scene. Speaking of people who's living a life of crime, in the next scene we have Tyreek. So Brains is one of the guys who hit a lick with Kanan. So now they're on to another lick where they're going to run up in this lady's house. Tyreek's going to play like he's this innocent kid who's trying to sell candy bars, and in the middle of the lick, things just go crazy wrong. So the guy that's with them, I think, begins to rape the woman. And so Tyreek says the guy's name and tell him
Tell him to stop.
Like, I really wish you didn't say that. And they end up killing the lady. Tyreek runs, and now he's pretty much on the run for his life. See, he's a little in too deep. He just wanted to do a couple little robberies and get things going. He wasn't into the whole raping and murder. But now you see rape and murder. So, man, I can't wait to see what's about to happen with Tyreek. But on to the next scene. In the next scene, we have Mike getting ready to interrogate Mike. But Mike has a trick up his sleeve. He has a card. And he's basically saying, I want immunity, and I'll give you everything you want. And, of course, Mike's like, well, what makes you think I'll do that? And he tells him, all the cases that I've tried, they were all under the influence of Felipe Lopez. And that Mike do not want that. It will completely destroy their department. It will destroy his career. It will destroy everything. Yo, I have never seen a legal team that was so messed up. But this team here, Jesus Christ, what do these guys got going on? That's what this scene was about. Mike playing his card, and that boy got a king. I don't know if he got an ace, but he got a king for sure. At least a queen. He at least got a queen. Let's just get to the next scene. I'm so excited. Okay, in the next scene, we have Angela going to meet with Terry. Basically saying there's an arrest for the murder of Greg, and it was Mike Sandoval. And he's like, wow. I guess James. I guess James really was innocent. She's like, yes, he is. Can you tell James? He's like, yeah. Oh, she said, tell Proctor, too. That's the only way he'll hear about it. There's something going on with Angela, and I don't know what it is. And I think I kind of like it. I don't know. I almost feel like she's going to the dark side. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I'm just thinking too much into it. But there's something going on with Angela. But let's go to the next scene. So, in the next scene, we have Terry going over to James and Tasha's place, basically telling them the good news. That's not even the important part. The important part is what's going on between Tasha and Terry. Basically, he's like, yo, you need to be careful. He came over to my spot a couple days ago, and you left your earring. But she take her earring back. So, she tried to smile. Look, I know this is complicated. But he's like, look, let's have dinner, and we'll talk about it all then. She agrees. On to the next scene. In the next scene, we have Tommy, Proctor, and Ghost all talking about Mike getting arrested. Now, they know that Mike probably know who they really are, and that if they question him, he's going to flip. So they know they need to kill Mike, and they don't know how they're going to do it. So Tommy suggests that Teresi does it. Of course, Ghost is like, I don't think, no, we can't trust him like that, but we can trust what he wants, and that's me. And like, but what is he going to want in return? We don't know yet. But let's see what happens. As the scene continues, Tommy calls Teresi and basically set that up. Teresi like, you're my family, it's nothing. So let's see what happens to Mike. It's getting, things are getting a little crazy, ain't it? But hey, that's power. And that's why we love this show. But on to the next. Man. So in the next scene, we have Dre meeting up with the Jimenez, basically trying to like stop the war, but not because he don't want to go to war. He wants Tommy's spot. He wants to be the biggest goddamn drug dealer in New York. So in exchange for them not basically going to war, he has offered that he can get the drugs that they have sold in all of the Bassett hotels because he has that connection. Like this guy Dre, and we talk about Tariq in over his head. I think Dre is in over his head too, but we just don't know. But it's getting crazy, y'all. It's getting crazy, y'all. I just can't wait. All right, on to the next scene. Yo, this last scene is crazy, son. Okay, so look, Mike murdered, done. He's finito. Tommy gets the call. He knows what's up. It's done. Ghost is like, that's cool. they going on with their lives. So then finally we head over into the scene where Ghost and Councilman Tate are talking and they're going over their plans. Ghost has told him like, yo, you ain't got to worry about the pushers. I got that taken care of. They won't be out there. Tariq comes in and they have a little conversation. Tariq's like, I'm just going to take a shower, do my homework. You know, he's going to go on do his thing. Then he get a call from Brains. Which now Tariq is kind of shook and he's like, yo, you know, Randall talked about the school out in Connecticut. You're like, you think about going? Well, yeah, they got some good basketball courts and some good science classes. So you're like, yeah, we'll talk about it later. Then, the ultimate scene. Angela got Mike killed. Oh my God. What is going on? Look, I'm just so excited for these last 2 episodes. I don't even know what to do anymore. I'm just going ahead and cut this here. This episode has left me breathless. I love the show Power. It is amazing. If you don't watch it, start watching it, but it's crazy. That's the end of my recap. One Time Nation, I holla at y'all. Deuces. Peace out. Bye.